Hey everybody. So wanted to post a little video today about something that I've been talking about recently with some people, and it got me thinking. Right now, currently going into holidays. Actually just went through one, and heading into December here, and this is going to be my fourth set of some of the holidays that I'm going through since losing my wife. And at the beginning especially, there's a lot of questions about how do you move forward, how do you ever enjoy a holiday, and let alone, forget about enjoy them, how do you even survive them, how do you get through them? And with people who are new to loss, significant loss, the question that's been coming up a lot is, how do you do it? What are the tricks? How can you get through it? And I'm hearing a lot of people say, I don't want to do the things that we used to do. I don't want to put up a Christmas tree. I'm not going to have Thanksgiving. I'm not going to the New Year's party. And what we do a lot of times, speaking from experience, is we run from some of the things that remind us of that person because they hurt too much, right? We had lots of traditions, the holidays in particular, painting Christmas ornaments, going to certain events, sightseeing certain locations. So when my wife passed, I have a young daughter, so I didn't have the option of just staying in bed and not moving forward and not doing things, because I needed to do it not just for me in the long run, but also for her. And a big motivator to me as to why I was able to do it and why I was able to kind of paint those ornaments that holiday we went into, go to the same things, was my biggest fear having a young daughter who was 4 at the time was that she was going to forget her mom. And I refused to let her forget her mom. And that went into different shapes and forms. One was obviously putting up a lot of pictures. We talk about our mom regularly. But we also did all the things her mom liked to do. We went to her favorite places. We drank her favorite drinks, even the ones I don't really like. Ironically, even my daughter, whose favorite color always used to be pink, now it's green because it was mom's favorite color. And these things helped keep my wife's memory alive. So much to the point that, my daughter always says, I remember this, I remember that. And it's now been, 3 years. And recently I was talking to her about the day we brought her home from the hospital, my daughter, when she was born. And I was telling her how the cat came over and sniffed the baby carrier. And she goes, I remember that. I said, you do not remember the day you came home from the hospital. And she insists she does. And she was telling me about what the carrier looked like and the room. And then I remember why. It's a picture we have up on the wall that we've talked about. And she was remembering, or thinking she remembered, based off the picture. So, as you can see throughout the video here, you might be wondering why I have this little candle lit and why do I keep lighting it every time it goes out. This is my metaphor. The way I kind of look at this, the traditions, the memories, doing the things that hurt doing, I refuse to let my wife be forgotten. Not just from my daughter, obviously it'll never happen with myself, but people that knew her, not just friends and family, acquaintances, people she worked with, whatever. I won't let the world forget about her. I'm constantly sharing her picture, talking about her, and that's the least I can do, is make sure that her spirit lives on. And another way I do that is by doing those things that she enjoyed doing. Now, I'll be honest with you. For 3 years, I was able to do pretty much everything I did with my wife. We went to the same places. Did the same activities, went on vacations that my wife loved. I even took my daughter to Disney World, which I only went one time with my wife, and that was before my daughter was born. So was able to do everything, but the one thing I couldn't do was go to this place called Santa's Village up in New Hampshire. And 3 years went by. My daughter wanted to go. I said, no, I can't. I'm not ready for that. And then one day I thought about it. I said, here I am living in the same house, sleeping in the same bed that we shared, sleeping in the same room, cooking in the kitchen she cooked in. You know, I've got her pictures up all over the place. I'm like, I can do all of this, but I can't go to Santa's Village, which ironically I had only gone to twice. And the whole time I knew my wife, we had only gone there twice. But they were great memories. And for some reason, I was telling myself I couldn't do it, I couldn't handle it, and I realized how silly that sounded, right? I was letting my grief control me and also stop me from developing more happy memories. And we went to Santa's Village, and we had a great time. And even though my wife wasn't there physically, she was there in spirit. And the memories we have of our first time going without her, she was a big part of. And my daughter will remember that. And the people who went with us will remember that. And they thought about my wife, and it kept her spirit alive. And I guess what I'd ask anyone watching this video who's struggling with this, and you're going into holidays, or you've decided I'm not going to do those things we used to do, and I'm not going to go to those places because they remind me too much, they hurt too much. I get that, the pain sucks. But whether you go to those places or not, you do those traditions or not, guess what? Here's the bad news. The pain's not going away. I mean, it's not. If you choose not to do those favorite things, pain doesn't go away because you chose not to do them. You know, I was using the example of it's like in the horror movies when the boogeyman comes in or something, you got to hide under the covers. That's not going to do much for you. You know, so us not doing those traditions, the things that brought joy, that person loved doing, is like hiding under the covers. And we might think it's protecting us, but it's not. It's really not. And what you're doing is two things. One, you're robbing yourself of creating more memories that are going to connect you to that person, positive ones. The other thing that I found, and again, I'm speaking for myself here, so if at any point you want to stop the video and say, yeah, full of it, feel free. I'm not speaking to you from a place with this big 8-year college degree. I'm speaking to you from experience. But the other thing that we do, along with not building those new memories, is we allow that person's flame to go out. And that's why I say this was my metaphor. Because I think about this flame like this candle, right? Is our loved ones, that's their spirit, that's their memory, that's their legacy, right? And if we don't do anything and we don't care to it, the world is going to keep moving, right? And when we all die, when we go, when we pass on, the world doesn't stop, right? I remember the first month my wife passed, and a TV show we used to love watching, the new season came out. And the reality hit me, like, she's not here, but the show's going to keep playing. They're going to keep making new ones. They're going to keep coming out with new flavors of her favorite drinks. They're going to keep living. The world's going to keep moving, right? And it hurt that she's not here for it. But that's kind of like, you know, our job, I guess, if we choose to pick up that torch and carry it, is to keep that flame lit. And it's as the world goes too fast and people start to let the flame go out because they're wrapped up in their lives and people have their priorities. You know, it's our job to relight it and remind them who they are. You know, it's our job to do that. And again, I'm not saying you have to be ready for this at any certain time. You may need some time to get there. Like I said, it took me 3 years to go back to Santa's Village. But what I'm saying is, don't feel like pulling the covers up over you is going to protect you from the pain. It doesn't. And if I can tell you one thing that's helped me, it's embracing the things that I do have, and doing those things that, you know, make us remember her. It's talking about her, and it's keeping that flame lit. You know, it's going to keep going out. And there you go. It's going to keep going out. And You could pull all your family and friends together and talk about the person you lost and have a great time and feel like you've reignited everyone's memory about that person. And they're gonna go back to their lives, their problems, their jobs, their struggles. Everyone's got stuff going on, right? When my wife passed, and I remember everyone telling me, don't worry, we're here, you're not alone, it takes a village. And I was very cynical, and I said, yeah, and this village is all gonna have to go back to your lives soon. You're all here right now, but what's gonna happen next week when you gotta go back to work? What's gonna happen when you gotta go back home? What's gonna happen when you gotta go take care of your kids? I'm here alone, she's not here. And that's true. If it hasn't happened yet, it's going to. It doesn't mean that we have to let that person drift off because everyone, and they don't forget the person, but because they've moved on to other things, and no one's going to miss that person and think about them as much as you, more than likely. No one else is going to carry that pain that you're carrying, right? However, we can do some good healing for ourselves, and we can do something great for the person we lost by making their favorite meal, going to their favorite place, watching their favorite show, maybe reading their favorite book, whatever it is. And every time we do that, right, we're lighting that flame again, and we're keeping them going. And it doesn't matter how many times it goes out. You just keep doing it. You keep them alive. You know, and hopefully one day somebody's doing that for you as well. So anyway, just my, couple minutes here. I love any comments you have or criticisms or something that's worked for you, because listen, I don't have it all figured out yet. And I love taking ideas and experiences other people have shared and using them to help